No, this is yours.
Jalen Miller.
This one is mine,
Do
actually.
you know why this is number 2?
No. That's not true. But we're not using them today.
All right, it's 8 o'clock.
No cookies today.
Okay.
Give me 1 second to pull up the...
Okay. Just 1 second while we pull up our roster.
Come on. Okay, I'm ready to go. Okay, nice show.
What?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you on the regular one or the updated one?
Updated.
Okay. All right, let us call this meeting to order. Jalen's going to take attendance.
Him. Faith Archer. Shania Blair is excused. Ana Cervantes.
You have to talk loud.
Cervantes. Cooper.
Present.
Crawford. De Jesus. Effendi is excused. Birch. Kayla Birch. Ermasele. Fashalong is excused. Gardner.
Here.
Grant. Honey. Jamil. Jamil.
He's right there.
Jamil. Thank you. Johnson.
Here.
King. King. Kinlock. Klein. Lewis. McGrath. Medna.
He resigned.
Yes, he did. Miller. Here. Millington.
Here.
Morgan.
Here.
Go Obara Ogbova. Regatero.
Here.
Rogers. Rose.
Here.
Seguencia. Knee. Simprom is excused, actually. Sumida is excused. Summers. Temesgen. Velasquez.
Here.
Velez Galan.
Aquí.
Vittorio is excused for the moment, actually. Wilcox. And Zhang.
Can you just make sure executive assistant is on the
Okay.
agenda? So it wasn't on there last time.
Does it go on the agenda? No.
He called your name.
Really?
No.
I called you.
And Khan, right?
Who's that? So, yeah, I called you already. Okay, we're good.
All right. Moving on to, yes, Senator Klein. There's been a move to approve all of the minutes, seconded by Regatero. I said it? Okay. Perfect. Any objections to that? Seeing none, perfect. Our clerk and secretary, acting secretary just finished the rest of the missing minutes today, so those are gonna be sent out probably tomorrow or Friday. Moving on to public comment. Is there any public comment?
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Imam Rafiq Umar. I'm the chaplain on campus. Hopefully, some of you know me. I'm not sure if anybody knows me. But I'm here this evening to voice a concern and to ask some questions. And hopefully, if I don't get answers tonight, we'll get answers another time. So Colin will be back. So, number one, I've been doing some research and talking to a few people on campus about how the process works. The process of funding an organization works, how budgets are allocated, who receives what, how do we determine what is fair, what is qualified, and what is not. And some of the numbers have been a little bit concerning to myself and to our organization, the MSA. The MSA and I should say also other interfaith groups, we believe, has been underfunded for years. So I won't say systemically, but historically underfunded for years. And it is a problem that many of the students who identify with those faith groups see, that they recognize, that they would like to have changed. And we can't think of any better process than rather just to voice our concern, to mention it, and to have it being heard, so that at least we start the process of making some changes. I know that there have been budget cuts. I understand that additional supplemental funding that was there from last year was additional. But if we look at prior years, those prior years, that $1 million that was added to SA's budget was not there, but yet MSA's, and this is just specifically for MSA's budget was reduced to less than 2019 levels. That's really concerning. That's a big, big problem. And they're not asking for anything that is unseemly, anything that's outlandish, anything that's ridiculous. They're asking for meals after they break their fast. They're asking for meals that they can pick up in the morning, that they can pick up so that they can eat before the sun rises. They're asking for the ability to host some events on campus, to bring speakers, and to have a chaplain on campus that is funded. They're asking for things which are very reasonable. And I want to make sure that the conversation is at least started, that the message is released into the ethos, and that we can start to get some answers, at least to these questions, because the way it looks very unfair. It looks very unfair. There are some orgs that have salaried positions. They have people who are hired, who are paid to, whether that's coach or to psychoanalyze or whatever. They're professionals, they're paid. And because the student body feels that it's important, they allot that. So I don't think that MSA's requests are out of the norm. They're pretty standard, but also because of the historical underfundment of the organization, it is something that is really concerning, especially because I work very closely with the 300 plus Muslim students that are on campus. They have a large, very large organization, and we hope to see some changes in the future. So thanks very much. I'm glad I got a chance to introduce myself. Glad I had a chance to meet all of you guys, and hopefully I get to speak to you guys again. Thanks a lot.
Is there any other public comment? Yes.
Hello. Is it on? Yep. Okay. Hello, everyone. So I just want to bring attention and bring my support to a bill that is on the agenda tonight. It is for the increased community service hours for senators. I think it's extremely important that senators are involved in their community, and I think it's perfectly reasonable to expect them to do service hours and to be involved with the community. I've come here the last month or so, and I find it extremely disappointing such low numbers of senators. So the more that senators can be involved, I think that's extremely important, and I'm very happy that there are senators that are willing to put this on the table.
Is there any additional public comment? Seeing none, moving on to campus climate discussion. Yes, Senator Glenn.
Thank you. So, I want to touch on a few things, but first I want to thank the members of the public for coming out to speak. Specifically on the budget, I have received probably by now at least 6 student groups reaching out to me with concerns about the budget, most of which are religious student groups on this campus. I've heard from the e-board of Hillel saying that the budget that they received from the Board of Finance for next year would not allow them to even operate Shabbos dinners, which is a huge concern to me. Now, granted, I cannot participate in the Hillel budget because I was on the e-board, but I want to say to everyone in this body right now, do not leave your religious student groups behind. I think it is extremely important that we are funding them to the best of our abilities and recognizing the amount that they do for our campus community and our students, whether it's feeding them, housing them, taking them to events that connect them closer spiritually. I think it's very important that we don't lose sight of that when we go into this budget process. Number 2, I wanted to, again, echo what I said last week about the budget season coming up for the state. Get down there and advocate. There is so much that you can push for to be included in the state budget. As the Vice President mentioned last week, the Hunger Free Campus Act, that can go in the state budget. And a little fact on that, it actually stalled in the state assembly last year. It didn't pass the Senate. So focus your attention there in the assembly if you do want to advocate for that bill. Finally, I want to ask the chair to request a couple appearances. One from Todd Foreman. We're coming up on the school budget very soon, and I find it really interesting that we haven't gotten any communication regarding to what they plan on cutting, because we know that they're going to be cutting. And I have seen $15 million cut across every single department on this campus one year, and it still hasn't been restored. And we have construction projects that are going on, and we have construction equipment sitting out there in the campus center circle that hasn't been touched for 3 months, yet they're paying for the labor, for the storage of that, yet they are not funding their professors, they're not funding financial aid, they're not funding critical programs related to this university. Second, I want to see someone from the Albany Common Council come back again, because downtown still isn't safe. And we really need to double down on our efforts with off-campus safety, because students are getting hurt off campus. And it's not a good look. And I was mentioning this in the office to a couple of senators today. Half of the year for 6 months in this city is for legislators on vacation from their home district, and the other half of the city is a college town. So we need to actually ask for real investment from not only the Common Council, but the county legislature as well, because this has to stop. With students putting their lives at risk just going downtown, just living downtown, going out to get the mail, they're at risk. So we need to see some changes going on. And that's all I got. Looks like a good agenda, so let's have fun.
Okay. Yes, Senator Rose. Then I'll get to you, Senator Khan.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jalen Rose. I'm the Appropriations Chair. I'm also the member of the Board of Finance, and I deal with all of the money in the Student Association usually all the time. And as a member of the Board of Finance, I just wanted to address any concerns about how we budget. I wanted to let everybody, including members of the public, know that we operate on viewpoint neutrality, which basically means that we don't take into consideration the viewpoint or ideology being expressed by groups. And when we look at the amounts that we allocate to groups, it's not arbitrary. We look at the amounts that they request, we look at the amounts that they've gotten over the years, and then we allocate appropriately without taking into consideration exactly what they're trying to do with their funds. just wanted to let everybody know that we're not biased towards any particular group or religion or ideology or political agenda. Just that we try to remain neutral and stick to the numbers. Thank you.
Yes, Senator Khan. I'll come to you, Vice President Madrano, after.
I just wanted to talk about the public well, I actually want to address both public comments, because first, thank you. Love the community service. Slay. And then on the topic of the budgeting, et cetera, and I do want to echo like things that you said, because I'm Muslim on this campus. I'm in the MSA very, very, very briefly, and like, you know, in the background, and never really there. However, I live here, and like, there's an entire month where you feed me, and nowhere else on this campus feeds me. So that's a big deal. And I understand your concerns and the inequities that seem like very apparent with the budget. And like, I'll start quoting scripture at y'all, but I don't mess around with injustice. I don't mess around with that whatsoever. And you know, so I did my due diligence. I talked to Jalen. I talked to, you know, the Office of the Comptroller, and there's a lot of things that the Student Association shouldn't have to fund because it should be coming from the university. My father is the chaplain at Union. He handles a fraction of the students that you do, and he pours a lot of time and energy into them, and he is stipended by the university. And I'm the University Council representative. Like, we can make that happen, inshallah. Because I don't want to see the programs that you guys do, and the food, and the things that you bring to this campus, that like, you don't know how much it means to me as somebody who, you know, is like there in the background. That shouldn't go to waste, because you also have a family and need to eat and need to, you know, whatever, and we shouldn't be relying on student organizations to feed students during the religious month. So, talk to me later. We'll talk to the University Council, because SA does what SA can, but SA is here for the programs that feed the soul. The things that feed the mind and the body come from this university, and the fact is you guys have been carrying that weight for as long as you have. It's quite impressive.
Good job.
I saw Vice President Medrano's hand first, and I'll go to President Blacker. Thank you, Jalen.
Thank you. Hi. Echoing off of what Selwa said, I don't want anybody, even outside of this room, to think that the Student Association doesn't hear anybody's concerns when it comes to the budgets. And we express this every week in leadership, that we know it's going to be it's going to be a struggle. We know it's going to be hard. We are working as hard as we can to make everything happen for everybody. Like, we are working so hard. Like, we are so drained. Appreciate everybody in this room. Sometimes it will be difficult, but we are all trying, and we all want to see this campus succeed, whether it's a religious group, a cultural group, fraternities, sororities, regardless of what it is, all of the campus involvement. We hear it, we appreciate it. We would not be who we are without anybody in this room, without anybody that's outside that room doing all the work that brings this community together. So we hear you, and we're working. I just wanted to give a shout out to all the women in the room, or anybody that identifies as a woman. Happy International Women's History Month. Kudos to all of you for being in this room and advocating for things that are important on this campus. It is important, and we will not be where we are here without any of the women or anybody that identifies as such in this space today. So, yeah.
President Walker.
Hi. I don't have as much of a good speech today, but I wanted to comment on what Senator Khan had said about getting them stipended through the university. I had a conversation like this a few months back, and we were like looking at the best option for that, but that essentially isn't possible through the university because we're a public university and a publicly funded institution, so we can't fund any religious organizations. The current chaplains on campus are funded through their religious organizations, so like if they're affiliated with, like, let's say a church outside of that, then the church is what's paying them, not the university. So definitely we could look at ways of stipending, but it wouldn't be through that. Yeah, that was all.
Okay. Is there any other campus climate discussion? Alrighty, moving on to opening remarks. It's so nice to be back. Missed seeing you all in this room. Thank you for your patience with me as I've been getting back into the groove of things. Spent 16 hours in the office the last 2 days, trying to do the work that needs to get done, especially on behalf of the Senate and making sure that we're trying our best to do things the way that they should be done. And yeah, I'm gonna be in the office on Thursday again, from like 10:15 to 1:30 because I have a doctor's appointment, so I'll be a little bit late. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We had our leadership meeting today. And yeah, that's what I'm working on. Any questions about that? Okay. Jalen?
I just talked for 2 hours. What did I do this week? Oh, I wrote a little article for the Albany Student Press. Everybody support your student journalists and yeah, contribute if you can. I hope you all filled out your self-nomination forms and all that hoopla and fun stuff. I love elections. Other than that, Board of Finance has been killing us, literally. I think we were in a 8-hour meeting. I don't even know how long it was, but it was too long. But other than that, just working to serve the people. Any questions? Senator Black.
I ask for unanimous consent to enter into the minutes a link to your article.
Oh, okay. I like that. Thanks. Is there a second? Second by Senator Grant. Any objections? Perfect. Let's go. Let's actually travel to the website right now.
Not the caps lock on.
See, free promo, guys. You see?
Shout out.
Under your remarks.
It's my first election. I haven't filled out a self-nomination form, so good luck to everyone that's running. Moving on to certificates and celebrations, there are none. Now heading into the appropriations agenda, Senator Rose, Chair of the Appropriations Committee. Do we have a representative from Gen Vote here? Okay. Senator Rose?
I guess we're gonna table it for next week.
Okay. Stilettos, dance team, do we have a representative? Okay. Puerto Rican Student Association, do we have a representative? Okay.
I most definitely.
Don't question our chair.
Albany Student Press, I know you're here.
Yeah!
Oh. It's up to you. I'm not.
I'll do all the ones who are here and talk about.
Okay.
I guess I'll move to the same one. After this.
I'm scrolling. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I have good news for you guys. This is actually going to be less than the amount that they're actually requesting. So instead of Wix renewal, it will be Canva Pro. Yeah, Canva Pro, which is $150 and not $350. Which puts a total of $200.
150, you said?
Yes.
All right, so we're amending this to say Canva Pro instead of Wix subscription and changing the amount to $150 instead of $350, with the grand total being $200.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danielle Modica. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Albany Student Press.
Oh, I'm Henry Fisher. I'm the news editor of the Albany Student Press.
He's here every week for you guys.
Oh, shit.
Thank you, Jalen, also for the great op-ed. Yeah, we're looking to get $200 for Canva Pro that will assist us in our social media presence. We primarily post on Instagram. We post every single article on Instagram. That's how the campus gets to see and hear what's going on. And a peace party, because at the end of the year, we like to celebrate all of our accomplishments. Yeah.
Any questions? Yes, Senator Cooper.
Unanimous consent?
There's been a move to pass this sponsorship by unanimous consent, seconded by Senator Rogers. Any objections? Seeing none, so moved. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Did you want to do all of them, or did you just want to do this one first? Okay, yes, Senator Klein.
So I ask for unanimous consent to suspend bylaw 208.5.8 pertaining to a representative from a student group, and for the student groups that don't have a representative to be moved to the end of the appropriations agenda.
Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Millington. Any objections? Yes, Senator McGrath. Okay. Yes, Senator Klein.
Call the objection question.
I'm going to.
Damn it.
So it's not a main motion, you just vote on his motion rather than closing.
I know how to do my job. Thank you. Can you pull up the voter tracker, please?
Don't glitch right now.
It's fine. I can do it on mine.
Nah, I got it. I got it.
Okay. I don't know why this computer keeps. Go ahead. We're
Clarify
voting
the vote.
on whether or not we should suspend the bylaw that says that the student groups that don't have a representative here, we can still vote on them. So we're gonna vote on whether or not we want to suspend that bylaw or if we want to keep it standing as it's written. Okay, does everyone understand?
All good already?
All right.
Okay, perfect. Senator Dill.
Yes.
Senator Archer.
Yeses, you want to suspend it? Noes, you do not, just for clarification.
Cervantes. Not here. Cooper.
Yes.
Crawford. Crawford. Not here. Damn, where's everybody? Gardner.
Yes. Is it good?
Grant. Honey.
Yes.
Jamil.
Jamil.
Sorry, sit at your.
Okay. Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Khan. Khan. Kinlock. Klein.
Aye.
Lewis. Martinez. McGrath. Miller. Yes. Millington.
Yes.
Morgan. Go Obaro Ogbova. Regatero.
Yes.
Rogers. Rogers. Rose.
Abstain.
Sequencia. Was that?
Nay.
Okay. Thank you. Ni Sing Prom. Right here. Sumita's excused. Summers.
Not here.
Temesgen. Velasquez.
Yes.
Velezgalon abstain.
Yep. I go last.
Vittorio. Not here. Wilcox. Zhang.
Yes.
Okay. I believe that's more than 2/3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, what, I need the number.
3,
I think
4,
it's,
5, 6,
I need the number.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19. 1, 2, 3, 4. 19-4 and 3 abstentions. 3. 19-4, 3.
So that move passes, but we're not gonna go back to that until the end. So, moving on to Student Anime Organization. Do we have a rep? Okay. Pre-PT Club. Okay, no, we're going back to the top. Oh, no. Phi Alpha Delta sponsorship request. Yes, Senator Klein.
I object to the consideration of this legislation.
There's been a move to object the consideration of this request. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Jamil. Any objections? Yes. You can explain.
So it has come to my attention that this event is not open to the general public, only Phi Alpha Delta brothers, and violate our bylaws.
There, I don't think anyone technically objected. There was a, like, an inquiry. But is there an objection to this move? A point of inquiry? Yes.
2 seconds.
Yes, Senator Cooper.
Inquiry.
Yes.
Can I ask this, is that true? Like, is the event closed to the public?
Yes, it is a closed event.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to answer that unless they spawn like out here. So, I don't know.
I'm gonna yield to one of them. Is the event open? Or?
Hello everyone, my name is Nate Crespo. I'm the alumni chair for us. So the event is open for everyone on campus. It is just that the alumni are exclusively from Phi Alpha Delta. But anyone can show up, anyone interested in law, anything like that, they can show up, they are invited, but it's just that the alumni are exclusively from Phi Alpha Delta. That's the only exclusive part of the event.
Word of information?
Yes.
So related to that, could the chair of appropriations answer if the group did or did not state this event would not be open to the public in their budget request?
No, it was not stated in their budget request. The budget request said that it would be funding 30 brothers and then 10 alumni.
Yes, Senator Khan.
Yo, Mike. Is this a ticketed event? Can I buy a ticket to come to this event?
No, it's not a ticket event, you can just show up.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Yes.
Did you either provide or plan on providing like some sort of, like, because usually events like this have like a Google form that you sign up with, or like graphics to advertise to have like a bigger turnout? Is that something that you guys are planning on doing?
These are point of inquiries that are allowing people to be able to answer his move appropriately. That is the only reason why I'm allowing them.
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
These are point of inquiries.
So, me?
Who's speaking right now?
Yes. I think they're asking you what your question is.
Wait, was the point of inquiry comment to me?
No.
Oh. Sorry, I was just asking, like, because usually events like these, like, if it's just like a show up thing, like, is there like going to be like a Google form or some way for people to like sign up, or like graphics advertising the event?
Absolutely.
Yes, Senator McGrath. Okay. So we are going to vote on the move if nobody else has any other points of inquiry.
What is the event?
Yeah, I have a point of inquiry actually.
Yeah, what is the event?
It's in a well, now we're in a vote, so I can't do much. Okay.
Oh, God. Okay.
So,
I have it.
yes.
Clarify the vote. We're in a vote.
We're in a vote, so I can't answer that question for you. You can look at the bill itself and see if that provides you with any information. So go ahead. The vote is aye. You do not want to consider this bill. No is you do want to consider this bill. And an abstention is an abstention. So please listen closely to your name.
Adele. Archer.
Yes, we're voting.
Cooper.
Abstain.
Crawford. Gardner.
Abstain.
Grant. Honey.
Nay is you do want to look at it. Nay is like yes, you want to vote on the bill. Okay.
Jamil. Johnson.
Abstain.
Khan.
Abstain.
King.
I'm
Abstain. Abstain.
Yeah.
Kinlock.
Well, not for me.
Klein.
Aye.
Lewis. Martinez. McGrath. Yes. Millington.
Nay.
Morgan. Go Obar Ogbova. Regatero.
Nay.
Rogers. Rose. Nee. Synchron, not here. Summers. Temesgen. Velasquez.
Abstain.
I'm going last.
Vittorio. Wilcox. Zhang.
No.
And Velez Galan.
I need to look at the numbers first,
Okay.
because I don't know what the number is.
What's your name?
Sequencia. Ooh, did I skip you? Sorry about that.
What is your
How do you
vote?
vote? Anybody else?
Okay, what's the number?
Okay. Yes. You count the names, okay?
Okay.
Five yeas.
I got 12, I think.
12 nays.
I think so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
11?
4, 12. 4, 12, 10.
10 abstentions?
Yeah.
The vote is 4, 12, 10, so we're going to be considering this. Now, sorry, this monitor is not working anymore. Give me 1 second. I thought it was going to be more even. Yeah.
What color are your plaid pajama pants?
Gray and black, I think. Come.
right, this must be.
Still have like that. But wait, what does that actually look like, man?
I thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the open bar fee goes into the parent fee, but they just want to reimburse for like
Okay.
somebody asked you something.
Or am I making it 250?
Wait.
Okay, that's
It's
right.
that-
That's a little too summary white boy.
The open bar is
Okay, this bill has been amended to delete the open bar line and add $100 to the venue fee. So, go ahead.
Sexy.
Okay. Hello, guys. I'm Ciara King. I'm the president of Phi Alpha Delta.
I'm Nate Crespo, the alumni chair.
And I'm Yeshim Shinar, I'm the vice president. So the reason we're here today is to ask for this sponsorship because from the school we get no money whatsoever. And we have multiple events that are open to the public throughout the semester and throughout the year that we pay out of pocket. Our fraternity holds many internship fairs, we do things such as resume critiques, and a lot of the times we even have speakers that we're paying for out of our pocket. And the reason why it's becoming an issue is because as our fraternity grows and we're catering to more people, it costs more money. And we don't want that to fall back on our members, which is why we're asking for sponsorship.
So, the alumni brunch, it will be open to members and then open to the public. As I said before, it will strictly be Phi Alpha Delta alumni. These are, people that work in the Senate, the legislative, attorneys, any of that stuff. It's a perfect networking event. It will be at the Fort Orange Courtyard at the Desmond Hotel. It will be from 11 to 3. And like I said, it's open to the public. It will be PAD alumni only. And it's great for networking, great for making connections, finding internships, finding jobs, any of that stuff. But I believe it will be a great opportunity for the student body to come if you're interested in pre-law or even the Senate or the Assembly and find those people that you need to find.
Not to mention, we have been hosting this event for the past few semesters and we have been paying for it out of our own pocket. So our members are paying for it. And we have other events that we also host throughout the semester and the years that, yet again, they are paying for themselves. So this is $1,900 that's coming out of our pockets, if not sponsored.
Senator McGrath, I saw your hand first.
Yeah, I have a question. So the catering per head, is the party for full 45 adult members or alumni?
The 40 is a mixture, so it's going to be alumni and the members.
Yes, Senator Klein.
So are you saying that that 1,600 would only be covering brothers and alumni of Phi Alpha Delta and not for general population?
The $1,600 is primarily to cover the venue and the catering costs, which includes the brothers, and it would include other people as well.
Yes, Senator Zhang.
Would student activity fee paying students be able to attend this event? Because I thought it said that it's only alumni only event. I'm confused.
Anyone can come.
In terms of alumni only, they meant like the only alumni that are coming to network are alumni from PAD. So if they're people who came to UAlbany, joined PAD and graduated, we're inviting them back to interact with the student body and members of PAD.
Yes, Senator Khan.
Can you guys just tell me like your turnout that you're expecting for this semester, and also if this was an open event in the past?
So in the past, due to the fact that we had to pay it all out of pocket ourselves, it was exclusively our event. But now that we're looking to get money from here, we will be allowed to have that more influx of students. The event is not until May 6th, so there's a lot of time from now until then to figure out further what will be done in terms of Google Forms, as you said before, and promotions and such.
Yes, Senator McGrath.
I have a point of information for the deputy comptroller. I was just wondering about the unit price per head. I was under the impression that there's like a $25 cap per person on catering and food goods.
As of now, the 25 per person is for travel expenses. The only exclusion we
Vice President Medrano, then we'll come back around.
What's the capacity of like how many people are allowed to be at this event? Because it's at a venue.
The capacity at the Fort Orange Courtyard is 250 people.
And how many alumni and brothers are you expecting at the event versus how many people of the public are going to be allowed to attend?
I'm currently expecting around 8 to 10 alumni with around 25 to 30 members. As well, on top of that, with the capacity being so open, we have a lot more room for the public. As I said, the event is not until May 6th. We have a lot of time from now and then, and we're just looking for a little bit of money now to help us.
Follow-up question? It says that there's 40 for catering, so you're only catering for 40. Sorry, you're only catering for 40 people.
No, we're only asking for money for 40 people.
Okay, so how many people you would be catering the rest out of pocket?
Yes.
Yes, Senator Khan.
I don't know if you can answer this, but are student association boards allowed to hold events after reading day? I don't know if you can answer that. Maybe Jalen, maybe Jason.
There's really only one rule that SA, like us, Senate can't meet after the last day of classes for the semester. But in terms of student groups, there's not really a restriction on when their events can be held.
Like, think about people that go to conference that are over the summer and they get money to go to conferences. Like, I'll provide that as an example.
Point of inquiry.
Yes.
Is there anyone who can come forward?
It's, oh, Jason's right there.
So, with that, since the academic calendar and bylaws is described for the last day of classes, what happens with budgetary items when it's after the last day of classes? Would the budget cycle then reset to the next year, the next fiscal year, or does it stay the same until the beginning of the academic semester in the fall?
That would still be part of this year's academic cycle and budget season. We do closing out in mid-June, depending on what had happened.
Okay. Yes, Senator Klein.
Did you guys seek any national grants for this event? Because I was looking at the PAD website and I saw a litany of grants. I was just wondering if you guys applied for any of those to help with funding this event.
Grants don't go to events, they go to PAD conferences.
Yes, Senator Khan.
If like over 100 students, you said it's an open event, so over 100 students can come, will the organization be paying out of pocket? Will students be paying out of pocket?
So if they are registered or however we get the outcome of people who are coming, we're going to just pay out of pocket.
So can I ask a follow-up?
Yep.
Would it not be less expensive than to pay the closed Brotherhood event amount out of pocket rather than getting supplemental funding and then potentially paying for 100 people or more?
I think they're trying to figure out an answer to that question right now. But I'll come back to you if they have a response.
So in response to that, I'd just like to say that we're supporting our brothers first with the money, and after that point, whoever else needs to come, that will be coming out of our pocket. We're just looking to get the money for our brothers and the public.
Yes, Senator Archer, because I just told her she could talk.
I'm gonna fight you. We're gonna fight you.
Microphone. Where's the other
Here,
one?
right here.
Okay. Can you get one to the front row, please? That one's
Y'all listening? Okay, hello. This is the same body that last week we debated about giving students money. They have already reiterated about 1,000 times that they're paying everything out of pocket. Everything is coming out of their pocket. They're just asking us to cover a little amount. They're paying for everything else out of pocket. They have been paying out of pocket. They're just asking for this little amount.
This is debate.
Oh,
Yes,
this is debate.
they're both together.
We're
Yes, they go together. Yes, Senator Khan.
You call it me after, so.
I'm gonna go to Senator
You
McGrath,
skipped me
then
already.
you, then, sorry, Senator McGrath, then you. Yes, Senator Khan.
I'm just like debate point mainly because I'm like confused.
Yeah.
For context, I also am part of a professional fraternity. So like I know how these finances be working. I know that y'all have mad members with like mad dues, et cetera, and like I'm just confused as to why an event that has like usually been like closed brotherhood events are super slay, love them. That has like has been in the past closed. I've had other brothers of your organization tell me that like up until a few days ago that this was intended to be a closed event. Like again, I just like doing my research. I like just talking to everybody who like approaches student association like that. So I'm just like, I guess what I'm confused about is you have the capability of having over 100 non-brothers attending this event, and like that's gonna be way more expensive out of pocket. So it just feels like the decision financially that you're making isn't making sense. So I'm not sure why we're looking at this in this way. Like that is just like what I'm saying. Like I'm like the logic that's being used is confusing me. So that's why I'm like I don't understand what's going on here. You guys and everybody in this room knows I ride hard for Greek life and I always have, and y'all saw me every other time. I'm just confused this time because the things that you're saying just aren't necessarily adding up. And like this is a debate point for everybody. Like this is not like a question or anything like that. Like I just want everyone to like critical thinking skills for a second and understand that I'm a little bit confused. And usually events like this are not this confusing. Usually they have a history of ticket sales. Usually they have a history of whatever. The history of this event with Phi Alpha Delta has always been a closed brotherhood event until a week before this bill hit the floor. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Senator McGrath, do you still have a debate point or?
It's a point of information.
Yes.
I am just wondering about, since we're using student activity funds to pay for alumni who don't pay the student activity fee.
Are we allowed to return those funds to people who aren't students anymore? Like, is that something that we could do or that we want to do? I don't know.
That's not really a question for me, but I know that the main thing that we consider is someone's like student activity fee paying status, and that's the reason why we have appropriations is to go towards people that do pay the student activity fee. So that's my interpretation. Does that somewhat answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Senator Klein, then Miller. Yes, you're going after.
Love ya.
So I'll start off with a question, then I'll make my debate point. So I'm looking at your constitution that's posted on my involvement, and under Article 6, Section 1, it states that you guys have a fundraising committee. Did the fundraising committee at all seek any ways to fundraise for this event?
So our fundraising committee does fundraise for events such as these. However, on average, every fundraising event we make about $200 or less. And if we were to keep having them, we're still putting money in, so it's how much are we going to get for all the money we're putting into the money we're getting back? We've had multiple fundraising events, but there are other things we're covering as well outside of this event. So paying for everything out of pocket, we can only fundraise so much.
So I'll move into my debate point now then. So I will be voting no on this bill for a multitude of reasons. A previous senator did mention that this event was closed up until last week, and I heard the same thing. And that troubles me, especially considering this is student activity fee money, and it comes out of the pockets of students, and if it's going to an event that is not for all students, we should not be approving it. That is my opinion on this bill. I think that us also having to pay for alumni who did not contribute to the student activity fee is also something that we need to recognize is within this bill and goes heavily into my consideration of the bill. Third, I mean, this bill in general, this request, could probably be much cheaper. The representatives it just mentioned about how their fundraising events get about 200 or less. That still would be 200 less than what we would be giving if this were to pass. So I'm going to be voting no, and I hope you all will be joining me in that vote.
Okay.
I yield back.
Senator Miller, then Vice. Okay, Vice President Medrano.
You can throw it, I'll catch it.
No, please don't. I will owe CCM like $300.
That's odd help. Hi.
Hi everybody. I'm a little iffy about like what's going on right now because when another sorority came, or another organization, which was a sorority, came up here asking for money for an event, it was given to them, and that was also an open event, and they're saying that it's an open event, so I feel like we kind of just have to trust students on campus. But another part of me is torn because you had mentioned that this would only be funding food for alumni and like current brothers. I would like to see that the other way around. So if we are going to give you the money, this money needs to go to student activity fee paying members that are not within your organization, because it's their money and that's where it comes from. But yeah, that's what I would like to see, instead of that money being given to your brothers, that it's given to students that are not part of the organization.
Going this way.
So I have a couple clarifications to make. So this bill is essentially for the alumni and members of PAD, correct?
No.
It's not. So this money, the 40 per head quantity, isn't accounting just for the alumni and the members of PAD?
Those are, yeah.
Those are. And then in your, I guess, formal budget proposal, when you guys asked for the money, what did you write in there? Like, what were you asking it for, I guess? Like, who was it going to account for?
The members and the alumni.
Okay. And under the assumption that you guys do have a treasurer, are they not here today? And
they're not here right now.
May I ask why?
Come on, Mock Trial.
Our treasurer works a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and then has stuff to do after work, so he cannot be here tonight.
All right.
Okay. Archer, did you have your hand raised still? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so going based off of what the VP said, would you guys be willing to like amend the bill so that the catering covers student activity fee paying students and you guys pay for alumni and etc. out of pocket to make it fair?
We don't have a problem with that. I feel like Nate messed up along the way. We did take a vote in our group chat to see how many members would be interested in coming. It was about 50, and then we have around 8 alumni that plan on coming. So the rest would have been going to student paying members or the entire student body, and we plan on paying whatever extra out of pocket that we had to pay.
Hello, so follow up, just to clarify, this money for catering is going to go to student activity fee paying members?
Yes, some of it will, and then we will pay the extra that we have to pay.
I'm so confused.
But yes, we can amend it. I'm sorry if I
Can you
didn't
turn to me?
for that one.
Yes, Senator Lewis.
Okay, I have a debate point.
Okay,
So from my understanding, or I guess more so clarification, but from my understanding, you guys have exhausted all resources, you have a fundraising committee, all of that. You're here because you need help. You're using the student association for help, right? So I'm not really seeing the issue in using the money from your school to support students who currently attend here. The alumni coming, as you said, are well connected, have resources, have connections that can help your students to attend. That's what people are in your organization for, I assume. So I don't think that we should give them a hard time asking for $1,950. The questions are definitely valid, but you guys, I know that you guys have exhausted all your resources, correct? Yeah, so I think I'll help you guys consider helping them.
Yes, Senator Jamil, then I'll come to you, Senator Cooper.
In terms of the event being open to non-members as well, can I ask what efforts you guys have made in terms of, I guess, outreach for the event to non-PAD members and invites and such?
So we wanted to see if we can get the funding first before we start making posters and publicizing it and things like that. It's not till May 6th, so we do have the time. After tonight, we did plan on talking with our public relations chair if we got the funding to talk about how we can outreach it and get more students. But we cannot account for more students coming before we have something.
A follow-up, if I may?
Yes.
And you guys said that for non-members that do show up, you guys will provide for them out of pocket. Is that like a tentative thing, or is there some way we can guarantee that they will be provided for and accounted for if they do show up to the event?
I'm sorry. Do you mean like, are you asking like, how are we gonna know how many people are coming, or?
No.
I
No.
can't hear
What's wrong with the mic?
Turn it off and turn it back on.
Okay.
Yep.
So in the event that non-members show up that aren't accounted for with this proposal, is there a way to guarantee that they will be accounted for out of pocket?
So hopefully, if we can get the funding, like we're looking to amend it whatever way you guys want to amend it, or whichever way you think is best, obviously. We can post a Google Docs or have a sheet to have people like register. We post on My Involvement a lot, most of our things, and people like say that they're coming. With that, with those numbers, we can plan accordingly. Like hopefully we can have a good like estimate and then cover that based off that.
Yes, Senator McGrath.
I don't know to reduce the quantity per head from 40 to 30, you would just cut out the 10 on
30.
Yes.
Can I say something?
No, I'm in the middle of something.
No, that would reduce the unit price, right? The quantity.
So this is going down to 30. That's what Senator McGrath wants to do. Is there a second for that move?
Can we debate? I have like so many questions about that now.
Seconded by Senator Cooper. Are there any objections? Objection by Senator Millington. Yes, Senator Klein. Was that an objection?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna call the objection to question, or the move into question. So,
Clarify the vote, please.
what we're voting on is yes, you wanna make this 30? No, you do not wanna make this 30.
Can I do it, please? I feel like I would just do it faster. Please?
No, no, I got it. Adele. Archer. Cervantes. Cooper. Cooper.
Yes.
Crawford. Gardner. Grant. Grant. Can we stop the side conversations while we're doing the vote, please? Thank you. Honey? Honey?
He's not here.
Jamil?
Can you clarify the vote once more?
Yes is you wanna make it 30? No is you do not wanna make it 30.
Johnson?
Yes.
Khan?
Abstain, please.
King?
I have to.
Abstain. Klein? Klein?
Nay.
Kinlock?
Abstain.
Lewis?
No.
Martinez? McGrath?
Yes.
Miller? Yes. Millington?
Nay.
Morgan? Goum? Goum? Obara Ogbova? Regatero?
Yes.
Rogers? Rose?
Abstain.
Seguencia? Need Sing Prom. Not here. Shamina's absent. Summers. Temesgen. Velasquez.
Abstain.
I go last.
Vittorio. Wilcox. Zhang.
Abstain.
I abstain. What's another?
I'll count the nays this time.
Nays?
Or you count the yeas.
You count the nays.
Okay.
10, 6. Yiddy simple, right?
The sponsor doesn't agree with the amendment in 2/3.
Why do you get, I have 8. 10.
So the only way you can do the
11.
amendment without 2/3 if the sponsor makes the amendment under oath.
11.
It's not 2/3.
Okay.
It's not 2/3, so that move does not pass. It's 10, 6, 11.
Back into
Yes, Senator Khan.
I have like a couple of questions and then potentially debate based on the answers.
Okay.
Question number one: why aren't you guys ticketing the event? Like, wouldn't that make like generally when we have like Greek life events here, they're usually like ticketed. Are you?
We're not ticketing. We genuinely didn't want to do that. We wanted to provide for instead of making people pay. But if you guys think that's best, we can do that. It's not an issue.
Would you guys be willing to like have like, you know, because I know the event is in May, right? So you got a little bit of time. Taking this bill, talking to Jalen to figure out a way to fund specifically the open portion of the event, because that is for the students, and then having like brothers pay you know, a fee or through dues or something like that, because like you're gonna need more money to fund the open non-brother portion than you are gonna need the alumni and brother portion.
That's fine. We don't mind amending. We can also, instead of paying for the 10 alumni, let that go to the students.
And then can I debate point?
Go ahead.
Because I want to actually respond to what the vice president mentioned about like how we, you know, did this with other orgs. And I just wanted to point out that like off the top of my head, the cussies they were ticketed, and they were open to, and I know members of this body actually went to that event and it was ticketed. The scholarship that we gave to Phi Beta Sigma was returned, to my knowledge, but was open to all students, not just Greek students.
Sigma Gamma Rho.
SG Rho was also ticketed, thank you. And I went to that event and bought the ticket for that event. And lovely. And I know when APO did it, it was directly for like the community, and orgs were invited, so it wasn't individual students, but I know a lot of you guys individually did come up. And the money that we didn't use there was returned. So what I'm kind of just saying is like, I think there's a lot of like fuzzy with this bill, and I know in the past we've debated like fraternity and sorority like sponsorship bills for a couple of meetings, and I think that it would be very beneficial for the sponsor to sit down with you guys with the actual genuine intention of this being an open event and making sure that we can fund the open event that is for students, because whether that is with ticket sales, whether that is with whatever, and then having the small amount of brothers and alumni, because you're right, it is a great networking event, be funded by the organization, and then whatever money, like, you know, however many people come, whatever money is left over will go back into the sponsorship line to be able to fund, you know, another organization doing exactly what you're doing and bringing like positive experiences to the students. But I don't think that that can be amended in one night, and I don't think that that can be amended this week, and I really will push the sponsor to table this bill until it can be like, or whatever the word is, so that you guys can work on it together and amend it. And again, y'all know I'm a big push for fraternity and sorority life. So if you guys need my assistance, I'll tell you what I told every other Greek order that came in here. Like, I want to see you guys get your money and I want to see you guys get your event, but we just got to do it the way that is going to benefit students and follow what the Student Association stands for.
Yes.
What was the vote count for the amendment?
10, 6, 11. Yes, Senator Klein.
I'm gonna move to table this indefinitely.
There's,
Can we object to that because it's one who
can you make it like a little bit more specific rather than indefinitely, please?
I feel like it's the same thing as objecting to.
Until it's like looked at again by the Appropriations Committee would be a great example.
Yeah, if it was to be allowing, I would say move to, let's hear,
Thank you.
and then, or whoever else needs to speak, and then
Send it back to committee.
send it back to committee to rework, because I really think that the funding should go to the students,
Okay.
not.
Is there a second to this motion? Seconded by Cooper. Any objections? Is it because you want to speak?
Yeah, no, I objected to it.
Okay. So now we're gonna vote on whether or not we're gonna table it. Jalen, I'm gonna do it because
I can do it.
I'm impatient.
I can do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for you. Adele.
No. Can you clarify?
Clarify the
Yes.
No. Voting on the objection, voting on the move. Okay. So, yes is, you want this to go back to appropriations? And before we send it back to appropriations, we're gonna let whoever we want to make some closing remarks or last minute speaking points on this bill can do that. And then we're moving on. No is, you just wanna keep doing what we've been doing this whole time until we find another solution. So those are basically our options. So,
Okay, let's do this again. Adele.
Yes.
Okay. Archer.
No.
Okay. One sec. Computer's glitching. Cooper.
Yes.
Crawford. Gardner. Grant. Grant. Honey.
yes is you want to table it, no is you don't.
Jamil.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Khan.
Yes.
King. Abstain. Could you have abstain? Okay. Kinlock.
Yes.
Klein.
Aye.
Lewis.
No.
Martinez. McGrath.
No.
Miller. I'll vote no. Millington.
No.
Morgan. Goum. Obara Ogbova. Rigatero.
Yes.
Rogers. Rose.
Abstain.
Seguencia. Summers. Temesgen.
Abstain.
I gotta speak up. Velasquez.
Yes.
Wilcox. Zhang.
Abstain.
Did we miss anyone? Okay, go back to the top.
And Velez Galan.
Abstain. Unless I have to change it.
Jalen, did you get her list of how much?
Yeah.
How much you wasted?
Okay, which one do you want to count this time?
I'm
Outcome.
gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go down.
Well, guys. Pretty interesting night. It's only 9:50. Only 9:50. And we're still in the appropriation.
11, 10 abstentions. Can you double check that there's 11 yes?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, yeah. 11.
How many no's?
1, oh, don't forget the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, including 7.
Yudi, simple majority?
Simple, it's referred. It's referred.
All right, it's been tabled. 11, 7, 10.
Wait, tabled back to my committee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes?
It's going back on the table.
It was to let people talk and then it goes back to them.
And we're gonna let people make their last vocal points because that's what we talked about doing. So, I'm gonna write them down. Archer, Klein, Madrano, Obaro, Bova. Anybody else? Okay, in that order. Go, whenever you're ready. And where are the microphones? There should be one in each row.
They have one.
Okay. I can take that back.
Turn it on.
Turn it off.
Hello. Yeah. Hi. I would once again just like to remind this body, as people have stated multiple times before, this body like this is to give money to student orgs. I don't know why we're sitting here debating, and we always say the point is to give money to student orgs. As the sponsors have already said, they have agreed to spend the money on student activity fee paying members. Like, I'm just really confused why like we're going back and forth. I also just want to remind everybody on the point of what you guys call it, viewpoint neutrality. We're not here because of our beliefs, ideas, our ideals, whatever. We're just here to serve the student body and help fund these programs, events, whatever.
I have no idea.
Was it you second?
You what?
Or Sierra? Sierra, were you second?
I was last.
Okay. Klein.
Oh, no, I was not.
I'm ready.
You were last.
Well, as a bit of an assumption I'll take, I have a feeling that reference was towards what I've been saying recently, in that student groups should be receiving their money. I want to echo what I said last semester when we were basically throwing away $8,000 to $9,000 in one bill. Now, it can go to a good cause, but that is what I mean by fiscal responsibility and stuff like that. When it comes to this specific request, me personally, I don't see this as a student group. It's a fraternity, and hence why they're going through sponsorship and not new and unfunded or supplemental. So I kind of see it as a different threshold a little bit. I had heard about the concern that this wouldn't be open. If this does pass, I can't wait to go to this event, which I believe is, May 8th or May 7th? I'll be there. May 6th, I'll be there. And I'm sure it'll be a jolly fun time, but I just really am concerned with the issue of it being open to the public and with us covering the meals and whatnot of people who work in the state senate and state assembly, some of which I'm sure can pay for their own meal with the salaries that they do receive. Other than that, unless I see some serious significant changes to the legislation, I will still be remaining a no vote moving forward, and I hope through the Appropriations Committee that a lot of these issues are ironed out, so to speak. And with that, I'll yield.
Madrano, then Obaro, Bova, I believe that's it.
I'm just really confused, I'm not gonna lie. I have nothing against anything, but in the beginning, I'm hearing it's closed, now it's open. In the beginning, I'm hearing that this is just paying for brothers. Now I'm hearing it's paying for a student activity fee, so I'm a little confused. I would just like to see that outline. Another concern that I have is that we spoke about fundraising and stuff, and they said that they don't have enough time in the day to fundraise, but what happens when the number exceeds that, and this money is only paying for student activity fee paying members? Do we really think that they are not going to give this money to their brothers instead, since that's what this event is centered around? Like I said, I have no issues with it, but it's just very confusing, and I would like that to be outlined and like really explained, and I need there to be proof that this money is going to student activity fee paying members. And yeah, but I'm just really confused.
Okay. Obarabula.
Okay, I think that, along with everybody else, like, you know that everybody wants to see, like, our students get the money, because yes, they're in a sorority or, like, fraternity, but they're still students, and, like, they still should be able to have, like, an event, because they are students. I think once something, like, there's a process for, like, tickets, like, there's ticketing, and there's, like, some advertising for it publicly. I think once those things happen, then we'll be like more inclined to give them this money, because then that'll be like a way for people to like people who aren't in the fraternity to know about the event, to actually like go, because this is something that I'd be interested in going. I'm a pre-law student, and if I would be able to like buy a ticket and go, like that would be something that I would want to do. So I think that once they have like a process for like to buy tickets and then to actually attend the event, I think that's something, I feel like I would be more inclined to like give them the money for this, because I do think that this is something important, and that this is something that should like happen, because it sounds like a good event, and I want to see it happen, but like I just want to see a process for like tickets and like advertising, I guess, first. That's it.
Okay. With that, we're moving, to my understanding, we're moving back to the student groups that did not have a representative here. So Jalen, are you presenting just what they're?
So, to my understanding, Generation Vote is having events to do things. To be very honest with you, I really don't remember exactly what the event was. I just know that these food and snacks were for their membership meetings, and the crafting supplies, they are going to be making cards. I don't remember exactly what the cards are for. And the PDF voter sticker, I think that that's for like election season, when they have to vote, pretty sure. I don't know what election season.
That's it.
I would hope so. Alright.
Okay, Senator Klein, yes.
Passed by unanimous
There's been a move to pass by unanimous consent, seconded by Senator Zhang. Any objections? Seeing none, so moved. Unanimous consent. Stilettos.
Another dance team. That amount is wrong.
It should be 400.
I remember the committee amended. Do you remember? Because you got the wrong agenda.
Yeah.
350 something.
It was 350. Yeah, whatever.
Can I make it $351? Okay. Senator Klein.
Move to pass by unanimous
There's been a
consent.
move to pass by unanimous consent, seconded by Senator Velasquez. Any objections? Seeing none, so moved. Oh, are you okay, Ethan? Okay. Puerto Rican Student Association.
Puerto Rican Student Association is requesting dominoes and a domino table so that they can play dominoes.
I can't wait to play dominoes.
I asked them who their best domino player was in their org, and apparently it's the vice president. I would challenge them on that because I think I can play better dominoes than the rest of them. But yeah.
Senator Kinlock. There's been a move to pass by unanimous consent, seconded by Senator Johnson. Any objections? Seeing none, so moved. Moving on to student anime. Hibachi sounds good.
I was going to say pretty self-explanatory. They're having movie nights and hibachi nights. They're just using the 200 to like offset the cost they already have.
Senator Velasquez.
I move to pass this bill by unanimous consent.
Move to pass by unanimous consent, seconded by Senator Kinlock. Any objections? Seeing none, so moved. Okay. I think that's everything. Oh, pre-PT.
The pre-physical therapy club, membership meetings, and additional enticements, which include like snacks for their meetings.
Yes, Senator Klein.
Unanimous consent.
Seconded by Millington. Any objections? Okay. So moved. Yes. Okay. Is that a move?
Yes.
What is your move?
I'm gonna ask for executive reports, executive reports to be moved before committee reports.
Okay, so there has been a move to put executive reports before committee reports by Senator Klein, seconded by Senator Millington. Are there any objections?
Point of inquiry.
Yes.
Is there a way to do that permanently?
Bylaw change.
Yeah.
Bylaw change, okay.
I'll write it with you.
No objections? Okay. So now we're going to Nathan Blake's report. Jalen, or Senator Klein's coming.
Do you prefer soft toss underhand?
All right, everyone, good evening. There's a new opportunity to resource conversations with Dr. Christakis. It's a rebrand of Coffee with Christakis. There's dates available in April on the Source My Involvement page if you'd like to sign up for organization. I saw the first one today, it looked fun. Also, the women's basketball team has their American East Finals championship game on Friday in Vermont. There are 3 opportunities to watch this game. There's a bus to Vermont, there's a watch party at City Line, and then ESPN has it on ESPNU and ESPN Plus. The programming board has a good graphic on their Instagram explaining the various options to watch the game. But go out there and cheer on the women's basketball team on Friday.
Yay, women's basketball. Allies. Any questions for Nathan? Seeing none, Catherine's inviting you to chair of the Elections Commission.
Yeah. There's a question.
Who had a question? Yes.
I just want more information on like a bus to Vermont.
Check programming board's Instagram.
We all bring PV, I think?
You all need PB, most likely. I think if you look up programming, it should have come up. Okay, Catherine.
Hello, everyone. So first off, happy International Women's Day. Also, as this is the last meeting before this particular holiday, on March 19th, it is British Mother's Day. And as I did last year, I wanted to wish all of your moms or people that have that equivalent a happy Mother's Day. You're welcome. Okay, so election updates. So as you know, the self-nomination period has closed, so we are working on eligibility checks for the Dean of Students and Student Activities. I also wanted to highlight that I wanted to do a little competition regarding a voting sticker.
Yes.
So I've talked to a few people about this, and I discussed it, I think, here a while ago, that I thought it would be fun to do like a design competition that will be our I voted sticker. So I'm going to advertise this, and submissions can be accepted over break and then the first week back after spring break, and then we can vote on which one's the favorite, and then I can send it out for printing. So that's the goal. Anything else? Oh, outside of the general elections, still working on revising new student or constitutions to bring them in line with the bylaw change. Thanks for the Sims there, Sierra. And then finally, I want to wish you all a restful and well-earned break, and I look forward to seeing you when we get back.
Any questions for Catherine? Yes, Senator Miller.
I don't know if this is a question I can ask, but can you answer it?
I think the answer's
How
going
many-
to be no, because
Yes.
they're not confirmed
Yes.
yet.
Okay.
They haven't gotten eligibility.
Well, if you knew what I was going to ask, yeah, I was going to
Was
ask
it
how
about
many
numbers?
submissions do we have?
Okay, so I'll be able to probably announce, no, I will be able to announce that first Senate meeting we get back.
I'll be holding you to that.
Okay. Oh, I believe you, but.
Any other questions? Okay. Enid?
She's just outside, do you want me to grab her?
Yeah, we're moving into executive reports. We're doing reports, Enid.
You can hurry up. What was that? Oh, kikiing outside. Should be in your seat.
Hello, everyone. Hope you guys had a great week since last week when we last spoke. today I actually had the privilege of going to the Piper House. But yeah, anyway, the questions that I got asked.
The battery's about to die.
I cannot give credit for things that happened in the past. I will only do things that happened this semester. If you already are taking RSSW for another organization or something, you can take it for this as well, but it just can't be the same course. Like if you're doing 2, then this one you should do the 1 or the 3. I wanted to clarify a little bit about things that I would be prepared for. If you just go to an event a director's holding, that does not count. You would have to facilitate and helping at the event, maybe attending something on behalf of SA as a representative. But overall, I'll be sending out the emails tonight about setting up. You guys will have to fill out a form and say how many credits you want to do. Send that to the Office of Community Engagement. I forget what it's called, honestly. But send it to that office. I'll include her contact in the email. And then I'm going to have a check system with my involvement. So every time you go to an event, you would be like, every time you go to an event, you'd be like, this is Enid Walker, and I went to this event for this long. And then you write a little bit about what you did. And then you submit that, and then I would either approve or deny it, and you would see that on my involvement. And then I set a date for handing me your paper so I can sign off on your hours. That'll be in the email. So, I think that's all.
Any questions for President Walker? Yes.
How exactly are we going to be reporting our hours to you?
Yeah, so I'm going to have a my involvement form, and then you'll say what you did, how long you went. I'll be like, this is good, or I'll be like, no. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay, moving on to Vice President Rigodalo. Hi everybody. So another Park Fest offer came back that we won't be able to take because of the requested amount. So we're back to square one once again. And yeah, we don't really have the funds to get ideal artists, so just putting that out there in advance. I've also been working on a Women's History Month event with the Women, Gender, and Sexuality Studies Department. I'll be doing that with programming probably a few weeks after break, so be on the lookout for that. I'm waiting to schedule our DIPICO meeting for the Finance Committee. Everybody's schedules are not aligning, so that's kind of been difficult. And then there was a suggestion to talk about the budget in the group meeting. We're not doing that. I'm looking to schedule a meeting with some of the senators regarding outreach initiative for Swipe Out Hunger. Even if it doesn't get put into the budget, I think it's still an important conversation to have and something that we should be advocating for on campus. So I also been working on the student activity campaign. And we're going to be putting stuff out after spring break. Shout out to the chair, Ashley Velez-Galan, for helping me with that. She's been nothing but great support. We have stickers coming out, a whole bunch of games that student works can get involved with for an opportunity to win some prizes. So that's fun. I also went to 5 Quad today, as President Walker mentioned, and we learned a little bit more about their operations and how they operate. So shout out to Nixon for inviting us. I'll also be trying to get my CPR certification, so we have that in the office. So that's fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my report.
Any questions? Seeing none, Chief of Staff. Can I have the microphone? Good evening, everyone. Yesterday we had our executive branch meeting. It was very productive. We were able to tidy up the office. We're setting up for our next meeting after break on the 28th. I've been working on reimbursements for directors. I met with the Director of Intercultural Affairs to discuss future programs and events. I updated the team's calendar. Directors can reference the calendar to keep up with future events, programs, meetings, and deadlines. And the PR for new office hours flyers has been submitted. Any questions for the Chief of Staff? Do I have a move to add the executive assistant?
Right here.
Moved by Senator Klein, seconded by Velasquez. Any objections? Seeing none. Assistant. So moved. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Sumia. I just wanted to give myself a quick introduction because I couldn't do that last week. I recently joined the SA as the executive assistant, and I'm excited to work with everyone here. My office hours are Tuesday 1:30 to 5:30, Wednesday 11 to 1, and 6 to 8, Thursday 1 to 3. Like President Walker mentioned, The RSSW hours form will be on my involvement soon, and an email will be sent out that was already drafted. And there has been a room booked for the Student Activity Fee Conference for March 24th from 7:30 to 11. And I still need access to the executive assistant email, so if you need to reach me, please visit me during my office hours.
Okay. Any questions? Director of Civic Action.
Good evening. The Department of Civic Action just finished tabling today, and it was a success. Along with this, the department has a voter lucky draw where we are offering a Beat Studio 3 wireless headphones as an incentive to vote in the upcoming elections. Although this, we are working with the WRC on a movie showing event on the 20th of March at 7 p.m.
That's it. Any questions? Director of Communications.
Hello, everyone. So this week, our department tabled with WCDB on Monday in the CC lobby. We have been planning a program with Project Shape. It will be on Wednesday, March 22nd at 7:30 p.m. More details will be released after break. We're doing a program with WCDB. It's a Learn How to Become a Radio DJ program on Wednesday, March 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. in CC 316. I just finished editing the interviews from Media Night. Hopefully they'll be released on the essay Instagram after spring break. And email me if you want me to communicate anything to the student body or add anything to the essay newsletter. essaycommunications@albany.edu.
Any questions? Moving on to Director of Dippy Kill.
Good evening again. So the Department of Dippy Kill's carbon sequestration efforts are now in full swing. If anyone has any questions about how that works or how turning Dippy Kill into a carbon financial institution will affect the Student Association or won't affect it, please feel free to come ask me. Furthermore, the department will have a large event on April 8th. It will be called Dippy Fest. There will be live music, and there will be lots of fun things like that up there, like catering, probably get some food trucks. In addition to that, we had our tabling yesterday, big success, have some raffle winners I need to email. They will be getting a tote bag and some stickers. In addition to that, we have tabling on the 7th and 26th as well, in addition to a Dippy Kill booking event that will be coming up.
Any questions for the Director of Dippy Kill? Moving on to Director of Disability Services.
Hi everyone. As you already know, I hate public speaking, but I need everyone who said it, I need you to look at me. Word. I have tabling tomorrow, 12 to 4, and then I have a workshop that I would like for everyone in this room to attend Friday at 4:30. Now you can look away because I'm nervous. Okay. So, since last semester, I worked with FSL on mandating advocacy and disability awareness training, and it's been literally awesome this week. We did tabling Monday. I had about 50 people come to the table. We had all leaders from FSL come. I know yesterday we had Senate. We also had the leaders over there, which aren't really over there, but you know their faces. They also showed up. It wasn't as successful as the first day, but we still had about 30 people stop by. Yesterday's workshop was also a success. We had about 15 people in attendance. I also had, the Dean of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the meeting, as well as the Associate Dean of Students, in addition to Tammy Ellis Robinson, who is an esteemed member of the School of Education. And yeah, it's been a long week, but I appreciate all the support from everyone. And I'm quite literally looking at every single face right now that's looking at me. Wait, I'm gonna see you tomorrow or Friday. And if I don't, we have beef. Or impossible beef.
Questions? Yes, Senator Rogers.
Where are you taking? Go desk.
Any other questions? Moving on to Director of Gender and Sexuality Services.
All right. This week, the
office met with the medical director of UAlbany and the director of health promotion. They did clarify that STI testing is offered and that seeing a medical professional on campus is covered through student fees. But regardless of if they do STI testing in the health services office or send us off campus, it still goes through students' insurance. So the only thing that is covered by our fees is seeing a doctor that can do the STI testing, but the STI testing is not covered. The only things that are covered are free chlamydia testing, so anyone can get free chlamydia testing, and you can get a rapid HIV test for $10 at the campus, at the student health services. So that was the clarifying things that they explained to us. The medical director did not give a clear answer about what consistent trainings around queer or LGBTQ healthcare. Their trainings around how to care for queer and LGBTQ people their staff receives. So I will be continuing to meet with admin about getting a queer health advocate as a position in the student health center. We also were told that the school does not provide any long-term care or treatments to students, which is why they do not offer gender-affirming hormones at the student health services, but we know other SUNYs do provide them to students, so we're gonna try to work to change that and see why that happens in general. We will try to meet with the Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs and the LGBTQ Advisory Council to push for these changes with our department. And today from 11 to 5:30, I set up a free market with the GSRC and a bunch of other people, Pride Alliance, UAlbany, Young Democratic Socialists of America, and the Mutual Aid Network. And we worked with them. The GSRC staff provided information about binders and trans tape and how to use them safely as we distributed both binders and trans tape, which was bought through my department's budget. And we also helped to get many queer people shoes, dresses, and other items to get them ready for Queer Prom, which was postponed but is going to happen March 21st now. That's your birthday! Are you going to come to prom? It would be a good birthday party, I promise.
Any questions? Seeing none, moving on to Director of Health and Sustainability. Do we have a report?
Please bear with me.
I think it's good ASMR. I love it.
I'm a pretty good beatboxer. Hi everyone, happy Women's Day. Okay, so yeah, Erica's not here. She says sorry. She has a midterm project that she is currently working on. So Erica has convinced campus center management to allow for one more dispenser to be placed in for now for the pods and tampons. She has chosen to place it in the women's restroom in the CC West. As it gets more usage than the others, the CC East as well as the gender neutral one in the community East, but she's hoping that we can have one in each of those as soon as possible. And she is also working with CCM to get her own storage location for all the supplies that she's purchasing with her own money. Please take that into account. On April 7th, she's going to be hosting Drop and Swap with UAlbany Mutual Aid from 11 to 3 in the CC Ballroom. So you can tell all of your organizations about this and come drop off or pick up lots of new stuff, from decorations for events to clothes or even event household things. And the flyer will be dropping soon, so please keep a lookout for that. And she also wants to do a panel on discrimination in healthcare and environmental racism. She's just looking to get a little bit more time with midterms happening. She wants to do more planning. So if you are interested or you have any other organizations on campus that are interested, please reach out. She will also be hosting a speaker on the 18th, as well as a campus cleanup in late April or early May, so stay tuned. And as always, if you have any questions, please email her at sahealthsustainability@albany.edu with any questions or concerns.
Any questions? Seeing none, moving on to Director of Intercultural Affairs.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm waiting to confirm with our food, DJ, and stage vendors by this week and send out contracts. My save the date flyer should be out hopefully soon, so I can start getting our performance and tabling lineup for Culture Carnival. On the 21st, I will be having a program collaborating with ASA, MSA, UAlbany Buddhist, Crew UAlbany, and Pensa for our Religion and Gen Z program. Which is an in-depth look on how our generation interprets religion and practices it and doesn't practice it. On the 22nd and the 23rd, I'll be having two tabling events. First one, Meet the Department, which will include international snacks and getting some of your questions answered. And on the 23rd, I will be having I Love You WOC Women, tabling and handing out care packages and daily affirmations from 2:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Just waiting on the materials to be ordered and ready to go. I will be having a POC Women in Medicine with Women's Research Center, Willa, and Albany Medical Center on the 27th at 7 p.m. This is going to be programming is based to create a space for women of color who either work in healthcare and or have been patients to share experiences, and we hope to provide some resources to increase patient advocacy and eliminate healthcare discrimination. I am also working on a women's business raffle, so stay tuned. And in April, my interns are working to create a programming week to promote our annual Culture Carnival, which again will be on April 29th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Any questions for the Director of Intercultural Affairs? Seeing none, moving on to Director of IT, do we have a report? Okay.
All right, everyone. Ruben is in a meeting, so I'll be reading his report. He's been working on fixing the computers within the office so they can be able to print for students. He updated the executive board office hours as well as Senate hours. A PR request has been approved for the new iPad. The iPad should be coming in hopefully by the end of break. Senate videos are slowly being uploaded to YouTube. Please be patient as the files are big in size. Senators are being updated on the website. Please email him with your bios and pics for those who haven't at sainformationtechnology@albany.edu. He had a tabling event yesterday with the director of DigiKill to promote the website next week. Follow at SA Information Technology on IG, and his next program will be tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. in the Humanities Building in the basement, room 27, titled Racism in the Tech World.
Any questions? Seeing none, moving on to Director of Marketing.
Good evening, everyone. I hope all is well. I'm Aaron, Billy's intern. I'll be filling in for him tonight. Unfortunately, he isn't able to make it tonight due to unfortunate circumstances, so I'll be speaking on his behalf. Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. Calm week this week, finishing up flyers. On March 23rd, I plan to have a paint program in collaboration with the Posh Daily in honor of Women's History Month. Please feel free to attend. We'll have refreshments, and overall, it should be good vibes. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions on that? Okay, moving on to Director of Programming.
Alrighty, Keon is taking a midterm. So hello everyone, I couldn't be here tonight because I am taking a midterm. This week I put in my PRs for my collab with Dance Marathon and for my event with Programming Board. I'll be having a scavenger hunt with Programming Board on the 30th. All are welcome to play and find the prizes hidden around the CC. The program for the Out of the Darkness walk will be happening in April, and I am still trying to finalize a date for that. I also met with Arlene, and we will be collaborating on the 21st of March for International Day of the Elimination of Racial Discrimination.
Any questions on that? Moving on to Director of Student Group Affairs.
Hello everyone. So this week I was asked to speak to a student group about re-recognizing our organization. This week I've also been continuing to briefly review Purple and Gold Award submissions to prepare for distribution to all review teams. I also sent out an email over the student group listserv last week reminding them of the budget packet due date and reminders to submit a new and unfunded request because I heard our appropriations chair say that he was trying to get rid of the money in the unfunded last week. So hopefully that brought some requests. I also sent out some emails requesting to do joint tabling with student groups, and I have also sent quite a few constitutions to the Chief Justice within the past week, so we should be announcing some new recognition soon. Speaking of, congratulations to the U Albany History Club for receiving permanent recognition from the Student Association this week.
You're good?
Yeah.
Any questions on that? Yes, Senator Rose.
When do Purple and Gold Awards close, like the application?
The application closes on March 26th.
Second question. How are they reviewed? Like, who's the person that reviews them?
So we have a review team, so basically, once the applications start to like slow down, once it gets towards the end, basically, like around like 23rd, 24th, Shannon will basically go through all the applications, and I handpicked a team to distribute it. So it's a team of leadership. Yeah, it's basically a team of like leadership, and basically they'll be like divided up by application, if that makes sense. So like say for example, we might do like the Alana Scholarship. The Alana Scholarship might have like however many submissions, and we have a team of 2 to 3 people in leadership that will be reviewing them. Does that provide clarification?
No, okay, that's that was.
Yes, Senator Klein.
Could you just state who will be on the selection committee?
I mean, okay. Give me 1 second to pull up my email so I can make sure I'm giving you the right information. Off the top of my head, Dr. Echo King will be on the selection committee. President Enid will be on the selection committee. Chief Justice Rodriguez, Comptroller Kavan, Vice Chair Jalen. Hold on, let me check. Sorry, guys. Also, Dr. Dolores Simony. She's the director of Middle Earth. Sorry, Shannon. Yeah, I think that is it, if I'm not mistaken.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
All right, we're moving on to committee reports. Senator Rose.
Microphone, please. Hi everyone. My committee's been hard at work in trying to push out all the money that we have. Because surprisingly, there's still $9,000 left in the new funded line. I don't know how, and there's at least 10 requests every week. Like the SGA director said, she told student groups to ask for new and unfunded, and I've gotten 7 today. Had to respond to several emails. I've actually closed the supplemental funding line. I don't know if anybody noticed that. We have no more money there, so I will not be taking any requests. There is now, well, I'll leave sponsorship alone. Yeah, my committee is just dealing with new and unfunded, so if you want to start a group, or actually, no, this is closed. If you have a group that's new and unfunded, and you would like $400, please request it, because at the end of the semester, if we don't spend all 9,000 of it, it goes right back and nobody gets to use it. Any questions?
Yes.